What's up world, it's your boy Drew Marcy here for How to Rap, and in this video we're going to learn how to rap better faster using a success system that will work on any skill level you are as a rap artist. Now this is the same system you use to get successful at anything, whether that be a sport, a language, an instrument, anything of that sort. This is the same system I used to teach myself how to rap way back when. This is the same system I used to learn guitar, learned how to do my own YouTube videos, how to learn a business. This system is guaranteed to make you a better rapper if you follow each and every single step and don't jump stages. And this system is comprised of three letters: PFE. PFE. Push, finish, and experiment. Push, finish, then experiment. Now let's break this down. How to rap better faster using the success system of every great artist. First letter is P for push. Push means you're gonna have to extend yourself outside of your comfort zone to get familiar with the fundamentals of the thing you're learning, in this case rap. So if you're brand new to rapping, if you're a beginner, you're gonna have to push yourself to finish your first full complete verse. You're gonna have to push yourself to write and try to write, even if you know it's not quite on beat, trying to write on beat. You're gonna have to push yourself to rap in your voice, even if you don't think it's perfect yet and it don't sound like Kendrick. If you give up on rapping, or if you consistently give up every time you sit down to rap as a beginner and don't work on those things, you can fully expect to be terrible. Much like in basketball, if you want to learn how to be a basketball player and you dribble a couple times, then you throw the basketball at the hoop like it's a football and don't learn proper form on how to jump, and then you just walk off the court, you can fully expect to never get good at basketball. You have to push through this fundamental stage. You have to push through the fundamentals to get to the finishing stage, to get to the point where you're focused on how well you're completing the full action. In order to reap the full benefits, you're gonna have to go through this. So if you're a beginning rapper, I suggest you check out our How to Write a Rap playlist for beginners and our Rap Flow Techniques playlist, all of which covers the very beginning fundamentals of learning how to rap. Push through, watch those videos, and then you can come to the finishing stage. If you're intermediate and advanced, you're gonna have to focus on getting into what we call creative inertia, and that's in the finishing stage. I suggest you join something like our coaching program, our 24/7 music group, where we coach rappers daily. It's a private text group where we work with you on finishing song after song after song. This video, in fact, was inspired by one member who we had to spend the first week with him just getting him to push through and finish song after song so that he could get into that creative flow. Now, getting into that stage where you're in that creative inertia, creative flow, and you're not struggling with things like writer's block anymore is step 2, letter 2, F for finishing. This is the stage where you overcome writer's block, and the goal is to get to a point of creative inertia that you no longer care. In other words, once you've gotten past the push stage and you've learned the fundamentals, you hit things like writer's block until you get consistent enough with finishing that you hit creative inertia. Creative inertia might also be called the indifference threshold. It's an idea that you do something so often that the things that initially made you nervous no longer concern you. Most over-the-top example is you want to talk to girls in the bar and you're nervous. Well, you talk to one girl, talk to a couple girls. At first you really like your stomach's in knots, but after girl 4 or 5, you don't even care. You're not nervous when you walk up to the next one. You've hit that inertia, you've hit that indifference where you're able to follow through. Basketball version of this is you're working on giving 110% every practice and finishing the practice fully so that you're fully prepared for the game rather than just giving like 75% and then wondering why you airballing. Now in our 24/7 music group example, we had our student just making 6 songs the first week so that he gets to the point of knowing he can finish. We had to get him to push so he can get into finishing. Now this week, we're having him do 14 songs in 1 week. If you watched our other video the other day about writer's block, and then it takes about 10 to 15 raps to get out of initial writer's block, and then you hit what we call the golden ratio, AKA for every 3 songs, you're gonna really love one, others are really gonna love one, and then one is just not gonna be on the level. So roughly we expect that 4 to 5 of these songs of the 14, he's gonna really be proud of. 4 to 5 other people might like, or he might feel okay about him. 4 to 5 ain't gonna be on the level. We're trying to get him to the point that he has a batch of songs that he can work with. But he hit me up this morning and said, I'm wasting too much time focused on mixing as I'm trying to get through. What should I be focused on, Drew? I feel like I'm going back, I'm receding back into that push stage. And what I would tell him is the goal is to finish the songs. much more important than trying to experiment with things on the next stage like mixing or experimenting with promotion, experimenting with merch. If you're not a rapper that has hit creative inertia and is consistently finishing things, if you're still struggling with writer's block, you're stuck in phase 2 and you're putting the cart before the horse. So I'm gonna say to my 24/7 music student, and you as well, follow the system and work on completing and hitting creative inertia before you move on to experimenting with other higher end, more advanced concepts in rap, such as how well your promotion's doing and your Spotify clicks and your merch buys and stuff. And the last section is 3, experiment. When you know that you will finish the song, when you no longer have to push with your creative actions as a rapper or anything you're doing to advance your artistry, when you've hit that creative inertia, then you can experiment. So again, with our student, what I tell him is, for this week, just get the 14 songs done so that by the end of it, I guarantee you're gonna feel very comfortable just making a song quickly. It won't be hard to finish, you won't have to push, and then you can start to experiment and spend 3 to 4 hours on mixing or start to think about your promotion schemes. But if you're still struggling to create, if your biggest issue is my mind is locking down the minute I start writing, then you're trying to go too far by spending 3-4 hours on mixing or thinking about your marketing. This is the kind of real stuff you learn when you coach rappers for 5+ years, rap 15 years yourself, but also when you're actually dealing with what is really concerning artists. One of the reasons you may find as an artist that it's hard to get a lot of traction is you're not making enough music because you're focusing too early on marketing the music that was so hard for you to make because you didn't follow the system. And now every time you sit down to write some new music because you're still trying to promote yourself, it's really a pain because you didn't follow the system. So for y'all out there, this is the system that you want to follow. First push, get those fundamentals down in any level of your rap career, then start to finish, start to complete things that will be required to be world-class at that section, that skill level that you're at, and then you can start to experiment on the bells and whistles. One quick note before we get out of here, you cannot jump stages. If you try to push and then experiment, you'll never actually finish a song because you'll be so overwhelmed by what's required to finish it because you haven't hit any inertia. If you try to experiment without pushing and learning the fundamentals or finishing, you'll never even start. And that's a lot of issues for a lot of rappers as well. Or if you just finish without pushing to learn the fundamentals, you're gonna be trash. Second note, this is something you can use on a smaller scale. This is a system you can use just to finish the song for the day or finish your work for the day in whatever you're doing. And of course, if this is your first time watching us, be sure to subscribe with notification. We dropping a lot of new information. We're coming real hard this summer, so be sure to be a member. And we always like to end these videos with a question. Have you ever hit that creative inertia? What stage are you on? Where are you in this process? And how does it feel for all the people that have hit creative inertia? So thanks for watching. I've been your host, the Big Homie Drew for How to Rap. I'll see you in the comments. Peace.